showdown is ready to roll on EA Sports College Football. It's the Clemson Tigers and the Washington Huskies. Reese Davis, David Pollock, Jesse Palmer with you. Holly Rowe is down on the sideline. Hello, Holly.
The most beautiful views from the water on Lake Washington. Husky Stadium is something special. You can see the lake, the mountains. You can see it all from kickoff. This is one of the most glorious views in all of college sports. Reese?
Holly, thank you. And the Tigers kicker headed toward the football, and their season is now officially underway. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll give it to the transfer, first carry of the season. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And defense nowadays, they don't look at stats of what is the yards per rush. They look at how many negative plays they can create. Because why? Now you look at second down, man, it just became very predictable for this offense. Nice job creating the loss on first down.
Got his man in the middle. Look, you can't take away everything, right? So you give them that and rally and make a solid tackle.
Yeah, and a lot of times in zone coverage, I like when I can get all the eyes on the quarterback. I like when I can see the routes and see him develop in the middle. And you could tell they had keys on the tight end. He wasn't going anywhere after he caught that football.
Williams from the gun on third down. Throws to the tight end. Working that left side. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45. They get a nice pickup on this crossing route against the zone, and everybody executed in unison, Jesse.
Yeah, and Reese, this offense, they've got a plan in the passing game. They've got some stuff ready for man coverage, and they've got some zone beaters as well, and you just saw one there on the crossing route.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. 3 yards, first down for the offense after that penalty. Quick release by the QB. Oh, he's got some space. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
It must be nice for this quarterback knowing he's got this type of athlete playing the tight end position that can work the middle of the field for him. He's a guy who can stretch it vertically as well, but this is a guy the QB will look for early and often in this game.
Caught by Williams on the right. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. Washington coming to the line with another first down. Williams to the air again. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And nice answer by this defense. You give up a big play, you go take a big play. Sometimes you get down on yourselves and one play turns to two. Nice job by this defense getting a sack, creating some momentum.
The Huskies trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. On target. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
These third downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it, you practice it. This offense needs to be dialed in, needs to be in rhythm, and needs to execute on this third down.
Third down from the gun, Williams. Makes the grab. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
Well, on that third down play, they're just trying to get it to him quickly to see if he can do something with it after they catch. But this is a defense that takes pride in their ability to tackle in the open field. That was a fantastic job of rallying to the ball carrier, inbounds and getting him down, now setting up fourth.
Unloaded just as he throws. It's incomplete, and they stop him on fourth down.
And listen, I have no problem being aggressive on fourth down, but the consequences of that, now you got to have your defense go bail you out. So you started the game trying to be aggressive. Well, defense, you got to get my back now.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Davidson. There's some room. Crosses midfield. The 30. Running inside the 20. To the house. Touchdown, Clemson.
And that is exactly what they wanted to see. They talked about bolstering their speed at the running back spot. They said this guy could do it. And you get a good glimpse of it early in this football game. Palmer, there's one thing to talk about speed. It's another thing to talk about speed. And that guy takes off, erases some angles, and makes the big play early.
It's so true, David. There's so many really good running backs in the country that can make people miss, but when we see them get into the second level, they always get caught. This guy is a little bit different. And now if you're on defense, that's a big alert. You know, hey, if we don't tackle him, if linebackers miss him, if safeties miss him, and this guy gets in the second level, he is taking it to the house. There's a lot of pressure now on this defense to tackle.
Williams. Here's a hit. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And these coaches have these play sheets over there on the sidelines, and there's so many calls they want to call, and they want to make explosive plays. But you got to protect your QB, and he's already been sacked. Now he's hit again. Like, they've got to protect him up front if they want a chance of doing damage on the offensive side of the football.
That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And how about that young man getting in the backfield again? He's really got his fingerprints all over this game so far to start it, man. We're still in the first half, and he's got a sack. He's got a tackle for a loss. These are the kind of plays that really help your defense push these offenses behind the sticks.
The offense gets pretty lucky there. Third down in your own end. You're throwing to try to get the first. That ball just a little bit late, and as a result, they're lucky that wasn't a pick six.
High and away, headed toward the sideline, just the way he drew it up. And that punt will sail out of bounds. Let's see where the official spotted. Let's see if they can put together a drive starting from their own 28. They'll go with a direct snap. They get him stopped at the 32. That's a gain of 4.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Looking for a gap. It's Davidson. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Boy, he's over 100 now at 102 yards rushing, and he goes over the century mark in this season opener. From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and short. The give to the back. He'll pick up a few on the play, just enough for the first down. They'll mark it right at midfield.
First down for the offense.
This Clemson offense moving quickly down the field. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. play of the period. First down here. Secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. Looking to throw on first down. Makes a catch right in the middle of a danger zone. At the 30. Breaks a tackle, and he might have room. He steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Big pickup on the ground, and they're rolling.
And to say he has trust in his running back catching the football is an understatement. I mean, there was two guys on him. Like, he was absolutely covered, but he still makes the play. And he does that a lot, man. He's a game breaker. He's a guy that can make big plays for this offense. If I'm the QB, though, I might be a little bit careful.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
Number 81, set to kick this one.
The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Washington. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. Let's talk for just a second about Washington. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now. The number matters late in the season. So you want to start the season fast. You want to be gelling on offense and on defense. I think that's the challenge early here.
Absolutely. Figuring out who you are. Obviously some talented pieces, well thought of in the top 25, but a lot of season to go out and prove it. Day one, game one. Make that first impression.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. Washington sends out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Catches it cleanly at the 20. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Tigers send out the offense to go to work. They've come out smoking with touchdowns on each of their first two drives, and they're back to work now. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them. Running inside, it's Davidson. Dragged down after a pickup of 5 out to the 35.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. You just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for him.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Oh, they're after him, turning it on. Slides past the sticks, and he converts on second and long. Great awareness on the scramble.
That's the danger as a defense when you play man coverage, is that if the quarterback decides to scramble, there may not be anybody there to make a tackle right away. You obviously want to take care of everything on the back end, and with these receivers, you got to get them locked down. But if you're the D coordinator here, you got to be more selective with your coverage and mix it up, because man coverage against a scrambling quarterback can hurt you.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Direct snap. Got enough for the first. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain. There's an idea that Clemson can only run the ball when they sort of trick you and get you in space, but they're showing a lot of versatility now.
Yeah, I think the word you were looking for was finesse. They've been finesse offense, more about tempo and body blows than it is about, being physical up front. But if this unit does get that physicality and get that ground game and a good offensive line, I think that's when you see the best of the Clemson Tigers.
And running really has been the key on this drive, guys. Lots of success right there. They generate another explosive play. Their success running the ball, big reason why they've been able to put up a lot of points and have a really nice lead in this one. And now back in the red zone again, they're looking to add to that.
Run in the red zone, it's Davidson. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. And they take it in for 6 more points.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the first half.
21, Washington, 0.
If you can do that, I don't know why you don't do it every time. Reduce the risk. Banged it out of the back of the end zone. They'll put it in play at the 25. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Throwing, Williams. Rushes on him. Takes the easy throw in the flat. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. Williams looking for a man. He'll take a deep shot here. It's picked off, and another empty drive.
Some defensive players just have a knack. I've played with guys throughout the course of my career that you can't coach it. It's not speed, it's not strength. It's literally, I know when to break on the football, how to go get it, and how to pull it in. It's just a knack.
Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. He'll try the left side. They'll get him stopped at the 34. He's got 10 yards on that one and a 1st down.
Another good run. Man, he has been picking up yards in bunches today. Jesse showing off all the skills.
And he's showing no signs of slowing down, David. This guy just gets better as the game goes on. He is a beast.
They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. Motion from the wide receiver. Right back to the well. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Washington stops the clock and uses its 1st timeout. They'll get together to decide how to play this 2nd down. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Caught in the backfield, it's Davidson. Right down the boulevard. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
And how about this offense? Man, they must have used fall camp perfectly. Coming out, firing on all cylinders, smooth, in a rhythm. Great start to the year by this offense.
And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. He'll bring it out. It's Washington. He gets across the 20 and out to the 21-yard line before he's stopped right there. Williams. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
And that's how pressure on a quarterback can affect the passing game. They were able to get after him on that play, and as a result, the QB made a bad decision, forcing that football into double coverage.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Williams will pass. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Intercepted. A 1st half turnover can swing momentum. Got room on the return.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Using his feet. They get him on the ground, but not before he drives it to the 10-yard line.
And it's not sexy, and it's not these long plays all the time. But this QB does such a good job of picking up 4 to 5 and making it where you're always ahead of the sticks and just letting you know, we're running. We'll take advantage of this guy's speed, and we're going to make you defend him throughout this football game.
Want to talk about a monster performance? This guy now has 150 yards rushing. The defense has had no answer for this guy, and he's showing you why he is such a weapon in this offense. Speed, the ability to catch the ball, the vision, the quickness. He's got all the tools in the toolbox.
He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. I wouldn't be surprised if they just turn around and hand it off to him again here on second.
Powers forward. And he surges across the line. Touchdown, Tigers.
Have yourself a day, young fella. You know why they handed him the ball a lot? Because he did that. That's his 4th trip to pay dirt. This dude has shown you a little bit of everything. What a great back. And 4 touchdowns on the day.
And he added the extra point.
35, Washington, 0.
Coming out with it, it's Washington. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15.
Take over, 1st and 10.
This drive will open from the 15. Here's Williams to throw. With the catch, it's Washington. He'll go out of bounds at the 28-yard line, and deep in your own end, you need plays like that.
You never want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying, they absolutely had to have that play for them to stay in this football game. And sometimes it just takes one great throw and one great catch. He'll wake you up. They need to score a touchdown on this drive. They need to score another touchdown on their next drive, and maybe that's the play that turns things around for them.
Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Makes the grab, and he'll go down, but he has enough for the first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half, maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. It's Williams again. Catch in the middle, it's Washington. He makes the stop at the 48. That'll be enough for a first down and a pickup of 10. We played 2 quarters here and reached halftime, and we will now check in with Kevin Connors in the studio.
Thanks so much, fellas. Here inside our EA Sports Studios, welcome into the Week 0 College Football Update Show. We start with a look at Utah taking on the Rice Owls. And it's the Utes looking to get the job done on the road. Right now it's early, but they lead this season opener. Let's take a look at some of the other notable games going on, including one that looks like it could be headed towards Upset City.
He'll start this third quarter with a run. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15.
And, man, this is more of the same for this dude toting the pill. Like, they keep giving it to him, and he keeps producing. Another chunk play. Like, I don't expect that they'll change much to do with this offense because every time they give it to him, he's chewing up some yards, and good things are happening.
Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, the defense was trailing going in at halftime, and I think they made some adjustments against the run. They want to slow this guy down. That's a really nice start to the second half if you're on defense.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. They'll send the back in motion. Snap to the back. And this Wildcat is going to be declawed, stopped in the backfield.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound, no matter who gets the football. We're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. It's on target and complete. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down. Clemson will send the punt team out. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. The Huskies offense out there and ready to go. Williams extending the play. Throwing on the run. Wide open, he makes the catch. After ripping off a big chunk of yardage, you figure they're going to go right back after him. 1st and 10 from the 31. Quick release on the RPO. Got 6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4 coming. Washington wants to go quickly.
I'll tell you, when you've got a tight end like this, it makes it a lot easier calling pass plays on 1st down, even if the defense is in zone coverage. He did a really good job there, working his leverage, finding the soft spot, and making it an easy completion.
And I think QB's rushing, especially in the RPO game. You want to get that ball. Okay, I'm pulling it now. I got to throw a strike right now and get it on him. And you can tell, throws it to the left and doesn't get it to his wide receiver. It's just maybe a little bit of hurrying too much.
Williams to the air again. Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football. And I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on 4th down. 4th down, Williams. Hauls it in. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on 4th down, and they keep the drive alive.
Well, to heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip shot field goal with where they were on that 4th down. But they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Husky. Makes the catch. Plenty of room. Feet down in the end zone.
Yeah, and this offense needs a spark, man. Down big. Listen, it's game 1. It's not the end of the world, but we got a deficit. Got to put some drives together. Nice drive here. Now the defense needs to do their part because they got to put this thing in turbo.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Tigers sending out their offense ready to get this drive started. And even after that last score, still working with a great big cushion. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10 as we are getting this season underway in the opening week. Using his legs, it's Davidson. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, a big key for this offense was getting the run game established. And this guy now over 120 rushing yards in this one. You got to give credit to the O-line. You obviously have to give credit to the running back as well. But they have answered the bell. They knew what they needed to do if they were going to be able to have success. And
here's a little room there.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
The Tigers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Still on his feet at the 45. Turns it on down the left side. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Clemson! He scores for the 5th time in this game.
David, this guy's showing us everything he's got in his toolbox. Between the tackles, running outside, the elusiveness, the vision, the speed, the patience, and with that home run, now has over 200 yards rushing in this game.
And there's nothing more frustrating than a guy that just keeps coming and keeps coming. They keep feeding him, and he keeps breaking tackles. He keeps making big plays. This defense has had absolutely no answer for that stud.
Number 81, set to kick off.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Throwing, Williams. He fires one deep down the right side.
And man, this home crowd has grown frustrated with what they've seen from this offense. I mean, they just haven't put drives together. They haven't been explosive. And another incompletion, and the clock is ticking. It's running down. They've got to find a way to create some big plays, to create some momentum, and get these guys on their feet yelling.
Pulls it in. It's Moss. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. Here comes the offense on first down. Williams looking for a man. Unloads to the wideout. Complete to the right. And he's down after the short completion. He did not make it to the first down marker.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
Wants to throw again. Just a short pass to the tight end. Knocked down at the 47. It's a 5-yard gain and enough to move the chains.
And that's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, the tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
Firing to the right, complete. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
And that was a nice throw by the QB. When you see that drag route coming across the field, how about putting the ball right on his numbers? Not high, not low, where he has to stop his momentum. Right on the numbers where he can catch it, keep running, and chew up some yards after the catch.
Open space at the 25. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work. And the Huskies come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble but couldn't create anything there.
Well, they're trying to get the big fella the football in the passing game, but they haven't been able to do that yet. He is a really nice target with his size and his athleticism, but him and the QB, they just don't seem to be on the same page right now.
It's Williams again. This time he's got his man. That throw and catch gets him down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. We've reached a break. Clemson has the lead. And this beatdown is close to completion as we've reached the end of 3. Let's take a look at how we got here. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this 3rd down play. Williams gliding to the right, still trying to make a play. Couldn't find anybody open, just threw it away, and that's a smart move. You want to avoid the turnover, especially in the red zone. It'll be 4th down.
And the defense is good with that. Get pressure on the quarterback. Get him outside the pocket. You know it's a passing situation. Play half the field now. This defense is in a good spot, and you can tell they're ready to rush this quarterback.
Williams to the air again. Lets it fly. Touchdown, Washington. He got it, feet down in bounds. This game is almost certainly decided already, but the good news is for the next game, guys still flying around, still playing hard, not really hanging their heads.
Long season. This is early in the season. Still got plenty of time. Still find out which plays you like, which you don't, and keep running them, keep getting better at them. So use this as practice.
They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football.
And listen, you start to get desperate, right? Late in the game, it's in the fourth quarter. You know, I got to steal a possession somehow, some way, and you got to pull the trigger and kick an onside, something you feel good with. They tried. Unfortunately, they failed, and this game's going to get difficult now even more down the stretch.
He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
And this offense has really done a nice job on the ground. Like, the ground game has been solid, man. Nice job opening holes, running the football. They've been consistent with the run. And as this game creeps along, right, if they can continue to do this with the lead, this is going to be a game that they're going to have in hand.
They make the stop, give him 3 yards on the carry. Ball's at the 24.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line.
If I'm building an offense in today's football, it's not around a quarterback that can't run. I'm going to find an athlete that I can give the ball because defensively, it starts to limit your cover.
Got a little grass. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in big. Here with a first down.
First and goal, Clemson.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. Clemson will come to the line with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Can the D deny them on second and goal? Gets it out quickly. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
Finding it tough to make positive yardage now. Third and goal from the 2. Trying to barge in. That defensive front just flat whipped them as they knock him down for a big loss. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. He'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. Absolutely perfect. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we're looking pretty good.
Here comes the Washington offense to start this possession. Here's Williams to throw. Working that left side now. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Washington right back to the line.
You got to like this defense, man. All game long, great job tackling the football. Like, you throw it on the perimeter, they're coming up. They're not giving the run after the catch to these receivers. A lot of times you see so much damage done after the catch. This defense has been dialed in, and the big play has been a non-issue.
Lined up in the gun, Williams on third down. Quickly to the tight end. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38.
Well, after allowing a touchdown on the last drive, this offense has to be able to answer. And getting that third down here on the third play of this drive is a good step toward doing that. Nice job by the QB. Good rhythm. This offense now has got it going. They need to pay this thing off, but that was a big one, no question.
He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
Great job by the quarterback throwing against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy, and then throwing him open.
Quarterback floating away from pressure. Oh, and he took a shot as he threw that one away.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't.
Hits him in stride at the 10. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8. It's Williams again. Here's the pressure. He just threw it away. The last thing you want to do is try to force something on first down in the red zone.
Well, this defense has just had this QB's number all game long. We're here in the fourth quarter, and still he's not able to set up in the pocket. He gets flushed to the outside, nothing open, and it's an incompletion.
Williams. Here comes the heat. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
Well, he tried everything he could that time just to not take a negative play. He didn't get sacked. It was a great job avoiding that. He's just able to get what he can get on the scramble play here, down close in the red zone.
They'd really rather not have to settle for 3. It's third and goal from the 6. Stepping to the right. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
It's pretty obvious. This defense came into this one knowing they were going to have to play a complete game until there were zeros on the clock, especially against this quarterback. You cannot take your foot off the gas, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
Hang on just a second. I think they're going to try to get the touchdown here. Man, this could be a gamble, guys. They could come up empty. Williams to throw for it on 4th. Fires to the end zone. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. And they are stopped on 4th down. That decision will be questioned.
You just can't say enough about how this defense has played today. They came in here, David, as the underdog. They wanted to prove everybody wrong. They got turnovers today, and they get a massive stop at the end of the game when they need it most. Just can't say enough about the D.
Man, they were the underdogs, but this defense, they thought they could play fast. They thought they could cause some havoc, and they did. And how about this at the end of the game? When you needed it the most, they called game. They got the big stop, came up crucial in crucial moments.